everyone. Welcome to Recovery in Action. It is so good to have you today, and we have such a special guest with us and a great event coming up that we want to give her a lot of time to speak about. And Charmian Gabbard is with us today, and it's so good to see her. And I just wanted to let you know, as always, we want you to know that there's always hope in recovery. Never give up. As long as there's breath in their body, there is hope. And we just want to encourage everyone. There's so many resources that are out there today that can help you, and so many people willing to help you. And there's meetings every night of the week now here in Connersville. Monday night is Better Days, and they start at 5 and at 6. Well, they actually serve food at 5 o'clock. The meeting starts at 6, and that's on Iowa Avenue behind Grandview School. And then we have on Tuesday night, Brianna's Hope at Cross Point Biker Church. And there again, they serve a meal. I believe the meeting is at 5, or they start serving at 6, the dinner, and then the meeting starts around 6:30. Mm-hmm. And then on Wednesday evening, there's usually a church service somewhere that you can attend. Thursday night, they have at the Eastview Baptist Church that used to be there right beside Eastview School, they have an AA meeting. And on Friday night, they have an NA meeting at the same place. And on Saturday night, we are so glad to announce that there's another Brianna's Hope at the First Methodist Church there on 8th and Central. It's in the basement, and we're so excited about that. And then on Sunday night, they have a meeting at St. Gabriel's in the Parish House, and it is an AA group also. So every night of the week, we can offer that. And we're just excited about that, and just everything that's going on to support recovery here in town. And there's classes at the community corrections on Tuesday and Thursday. There's classes on Wednesday, and you can contact community corrections yourself and ask them about those meetings and the times and the slots they have open for people to come. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the community, and we just want to show support and offer people the hope that they need and encourage people. On Sunday night also at the Parish House, we have a group for, and this is something we have never done, and it's been going on since December, at 6 o'clock. It's for children that are having issues with people, maybe their parents, friends that are struggling with addiction. We have that from age 7 to 12, and then 13 to 19. We have 2 separate groups. And then while the children are being in their groups, we have a group for parents. We call it people that victory over addiction. And what it is people that maybe have a daughter, son, wife, husband that it's for adults 18 and above that are struggling in addiction. And it's just a support group to help one another as they go through these troubling times. But we just want to encourage you and let you know that there is resources and help for anyone that needs it. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Charmian Gabbard. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Sharon, for having me.
We have a lot going on.
We do.
So
I'm excited. I'm currently working with Family Services and Prevention Programs on a project. As you can see, Sharon and I are wearing these In Stigma shirts and behind me. The focus of this project come from currently Fayette County is ranked #1 in the state for health disparities. We're losing people between the ages of 35 to 55 at a higher rate than any other area of the state. #1 cause is drug poisoning. #2 is suicide. And oftentimes we feel as if it's the stigma that's attached to people that have substance use disorders that prevent them from reaching out to get help. And so with that stigma and what we know about substance use is there's shame that's attached to it.
Absolutely.
And that has been attached to it for so long. So with this campaign that we're doing, we're focusing on the language that we use. I heard a quote recently that said, if you want to care for something, you call it a flower. If you want to kill something, you call it a weed. And what we know is...
That's good. I've never heard that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Every person that has a substance use disorder is someone's child.
Yes.
Or mom or dad. And so while some may see them as just another person with a substance use disorder, somebody loves them.
Yes.
And just as a community, we're losing those people. And it is our responsibility to help those people. They're human beings.
Absolutely.
I, as you know, am in recovery. I'm in long-term recovery. And so a few years ago, my mindset, when I referred to myself as someone with an addiction or a drug addiction, like it didn't really resonate with me that those words were negative. Today, when I'm trying to break those cycles, I like that I'm a person in long-term recovery from a substance use disorder.
Yes.
It's more positive. I'm more than just a person with a substance use disorder. Mm-hmm. My son, I don't want him to be recognized as someone whose mom's a junkie.
Right.
His mom had a substance use disorder,
right.
and now she's in recovery.
Yes.
And so when throughout the community, we have 6 billboards that are currently up, and
I've seen them. They look so nice. They really do.
And each of our billboards have words on them because mm-hmm. words matter. And so the sets of words that we've chosen to use is when you're talking about someone with a substance use disorder, maybe refer to them as someone with a substance use disorder instead of an addict or a junkie, because like that stigma. Most people think an addict is someone that's laying on the side of the street or homeless, and that's just so not true. Right. I mean, we've lost many in this community that come from some of the best homes, and substance use disorders they don't discriminate.
No, it doesn't.
It's equal. We're all equal in this. Another big one is medication-assisted treatment. So often we hear that it's a crutch. I'm thankful for medicated-assisted treatment because so many people get their lives back together through it. So if we embrace it for what it is, we're treating sick people with medication-assisted treatment. And it's a medication that can help them have a better quality of life. So I like to think of it as a tool. Yes. To help someone. Not everyone needs it, not everyone will use it, but those that use it are still human beings that have children or moms or dads, and it helps them have a better quality of life. We know that people that use medication-assisted treatment in conjunction with therapy are 80% more likely to recover. That's huge.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Another set of words that we're focusing on, instead of relapse, setback.
Setback, yeah.
And I like that.
I like that, yeah.
Relapse sounds so bad, like, oh, they've lost it, but they didn't lose it.
Right.
When you have a setback, you didn't lose all those tools that you picked up. I like to think that a setback is a lack of recovery. Mm-hmm. And so let's focus on what'd you miss? What did you not work through? So it's not that you lost that clean time. It's not that you lost those days that you had with your children, or, that's just another step in the right direction. Now let's look at what you missed. So a setback, I like that too.
Absolutely.
And then so many people will say they just don't have enough willpower. And what I know is that science recognizes substance use disorders as a disease. And so I don't think it matters how much willpower a person has, because without proper treatment, support system, and the tools for recovery, they're not going to recover.
No. No.
What we know is they end up in jail or dead. And this disease, it's terminal, and we know that. So we have resources available. things are getting better all the time, as you said in the beginning. We are seeing more recovery programs. We are seeing insurances getting better about paying for recovery programs. It seems like a slow process at times.
Yes.
But it is getting better. And there are so many of us that are wanting to help and do all that we can for someone. If someone has the willingness, then we can set that disease to rest.
Yes.
With proper tools and treatment.
Absolutely. And I know you were talking about, I like the one, the one about survivor. I think they use it for the alcoholic, that instead of saying, they used to say in treatment, now they're a survivor. And I love that because we do survive. A lot of people says, well, survival is not where you want to be. A survivor is definitely where you want to be. And they were talking in class. I had to take some training last week, and they were talking about, addiction as a disease. And they were saying, when someone has cancer and it comes back, say, well, they relapsed.
Right.
The disease came back, so they treat it. And that's how we have to be with people. They had a setback. So we need to treat them and find out the triggers, find out what happened, go to the root of the problem and see how can we help you now, where you are, meet them where they are. And that's just one of the things that we have to do. And I think the stigma and like, the sign says, words does matter. No matter what. I mean, the Bible even says there's life and death in the power of the tongue. I mean, you can kill someone with your words, just by the things you say. And, and I always see that little cartoon where they're shooting those darts into people. And that's what we do when you're just a junkie, you're just an addict, but instead, you're in substance abuse. Let us help you become a survivor, and that encourages people.
And to know that there's someone that someone can go to. That's why peer supports are so important. I think someone can have all the education in the world, but when someone knows there's someone that's been there and will listen to them and just embrace them and meet them where they're at, they're going to go to that person.
Yeah, they are.
And if you're someone that's been through that struggle, then that person in front of you is just a broken person. Yeah. They're hurting and they don't know how. They don't know how to stop the substance. What we know is most people, not only do they have the substance use disorder, they have mental health issues.
Yes.
And so until we can start coming together to treat both, then we're not doing all that we can. We have to treat both, because if they didn't have a mental health issue to begin with, they will have after it starts, because of the trauma that goes along with the addiction, or that was there before the substance use disorder ever started. And we have to learn how to help them people. We have to have more trauma-informed care. And so I guess that leads me to my next part of our In the Stigma. August 23rd, we are about the end of this campaign. We're having a concert at Calvary Baptist Church. And so we're bringing in two big well-known bands in the Christian community, Building 429, Stars Go Dim, and then we have our speaker that's going to speak, and she's going to share her story, her testimony of the stigma that was...
she's got such a story too.
So powerful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to meet her.
Yeah.
And then we have a local band, Undeserved, and they're going to open up for them as well. The woman's name is Tonya Kane. And so Tonya's story is like so many others that get caught up in the legal system. She had multiple convictions and arrests. And
wasn't it like 64? And on the 64th time,
it was 80 some arrests, 60 some convictions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was reading that and I thought, wow.
She asked the judge to give her more time in that last prison incarceration because she was pregnant. So she asked the judge to give her more time so she could go into a program, because she was deemed a crazy crackhead. And so we know what those words do to someone.
Oh, yeah.
If you think you are, then what good does it do to try?
Right.
If you think you're worthless, what good does it do to try? If you're going in front of someone that thinks you're a junkie that should have never been revived from that
Right.
fourth dose of Narcan,
Right,
then
right.
you're already beat down
Yeah.
before you get there.
You hear people say those kind of things too. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
And until it affects someone directly, then unfortunately we can't force someone to change their minds.
Right.
But as human beings, being nice or kind to someone and trying to meet them where they're at is a choice.
Yes, it is.
And we all have that choice.
Yes, we do.
And I never want to see someone struggle.
No.
It breaks my heart to see so many that's lost their children. I don't know what that's like, but I know if it's my child, please give them the dose of Narcan.
Right.
Please give them 5.
Please, yes, for sure.
Because someone saved me 2 times, and I know today that my children are grateful for that.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. I'm thankful to EMS. I'm thankful for the police. I'm thankful for all those opportunities because I get to be a sober mom today.
Yes.
And there's nothing better.
Yeah.
You know. But it took me many years, and I know many people thought I was worthless and probably didn't deserve that revival either. So my whole mission in life now is to speak for those who can't, and to help those who can't help themselves.
Yes, absolutely. And look how your life has just flourished now that you've made those choices. And then, just think, I mean, had that Narcan not been there whenever you overdosed, I had someone tell me the other day, because there's so many, pros and cons people have about Narcan. But I'm like you, my gosh, save their life. Save their life. I mean, they could be the next Charmian. They could be the next, the lady that's speaking at your conference. I mean, like you said, the 64 convictions, 80-some arrests. I mean, yeah, it was a lot. It was over the top. But look at the outcome now of how that her testimonies and the things that she's doing to help people and the promotion, the resources.
So she's 15 years in recovery. I believe she has some contact with other children that she had that was lost to the system. And she has her daughter that she was pregnant with when she went to jail the last time in prison. She goes all around the world speaking about trauma-informed care. Her whole objective is to help people understand, because when you are dealing with someone with those substance use disorders and they are acting crazy, like what's the underlying trauma?
Right.
So we have to start asking
mental
ourselves
health.
at some point, what happened to this person?
Yes.
What made them get to where they're at? Because there's really nothing you can say to a person in that position to make them hate themselves any more than they already do.
No.
They're broke, they're beat down, and I know when your will to live and your will to die are equal, nothing matters.
Right.
Nothing matters. But then that one person that comes along and extends that hand of love and say, you matter, those words are so powerful.
Yes, they are.
Or God loves you, you're worth it, what can I do to help you?
Just a hug, a genuine hug from someone, and I think we forget that simple touch, just to hug someone, just say, listen, your life matters. You're as important as I am. You're as important as the next person. But they don't hear that. They just don't hear that when they're in substance abuse. I mean, you just don't hear it.
You don't. And like with incarceration, I am a firm believer that incarcerating someone does have the ability to help transform their lives if those programs are there and if those tools are given.
Yes.
But we will not arrest our way out of this.
No way. No.
The only way for us to get better is to do better, and that's through education and understanding. And this is a disease. So when we talk about Narcan especially, that is a medication to help someone that is sick.
Yeah.
So we would revive someone else if they, like if someone has a heart attack, we revive them.
Yeah.
We do whatever it takes to save their life. We're dealing with a sick human being that has a sick mindset.
Yeah.
Revive them.
Yeah. They're not thinking clearly, or they would not be, in the, the substance use disorder, just like we're saying. I mean, and that's where I think the stigma has, because so many people, or they're just, they can do better if they want to, they can do this. But, without help, it's just like you said. And now the mental aspect of it, because when you're putting, both those, the dual diagnosis of the addiction plus the mental disorder, it's like, wow. I've always said this, because the women up there, they'll tell me, well, I don't understand why I'm this way. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know, why do I do this? There's a root to the problem. And it's usually a mental, diagnosis of some kind that, maybe there's just some imbalance there that needs to be, approached by a doctor, a physician, a psychiatrist, someone that can help them understand, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel better high? Why do I, and they've done it so long, they can't give you an answer, but there is help, but until society, I guess, like you said, we're not going to arrest our way out of this by no means. And the only way is through support and groups and the things that you do, and that Meridian, Centerstone, House of Ruth, everybody. It takes everybody working together, because that's the only way it's going to happen.
It is. And every life is worth saving.
Yes.
And I've always said, as long as they have breath in their body, there's hope. And you said that. And Tonier, the speaker that we have that's coming, one of her taglines is, where there's breath, there's hope.
Yeah.
And when someone knows how to do better, they will. But when you're in that lifestyle or that setting for so long, and even like I speak about incarceration a lot, because oftentimes we go right back into the same environment. So if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
You go to jail, you're sitting in there. The only thing that changes is you're adding more guilt and shame to the issue. You already know you failed your kids, you failed your family. No one, looks up to you, or you've got child support to pay, now fines and fees and whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go right back out into the same environment with all of that additional, and nothing changed. You weren't given no tools to do better. You have a felony, you can't get a job. There's just so many things. So as a community and working together, and I'm very grateful because this community has embraced me, and I'm not the exception to the rule. It's there for all of us.
For everybody.
It's whatever the willingness is. So as we start to embrace people and help them get out of this situation, the community will embrace them as well. And I think when our words and our actions match up, then the support systems just grow. They come. Like you, the girls that still lean on you, and they're long gone from the home. It's new life. And so those people, places, and things, those pass away and all becomes new in this new life. And so, but you have to help someone find those new people, places, and things. And
to change their life. People, they'll say, well, if they could do better if they wanted to. That's not the case. They don't know how to, because I have told people, I have third generation people in the home and their children.
Yes.
And it's like, their parents was that way. It's been a lifestyle. They truly don't know how to live a drug-free or substance-free life. It's been so familiar to them, and it's hard for us, being clean and living the way that we do. It's like, wow, but when you reflect back, it's like, man, everybody does not have those opportunities. And like you were saying about the felonies, society says, well, they need to get a job. They can't. I've got so many women that would love to have and good workers, hard-working, smart women, but they have felonies. A lot of the places I take them to, they're like, no. And it's like, I can guarantee you they'll be drug-free, and, they'll pass their urine test. They'll, and they've went and got their GED. Some of them are even in college now. They're trying, but, if we set them up for failure, they can't get food stamps because they have felonies.
Right.
They can't get a HUD because they have felonies. They can't get a job. What are they going to do?
So the cycles are repeated.
Exactly. And it's not that they want to, but, some of the girls, this is their terms, they'll sling dope. And that means they're going to sell dope. They're going to, and it's like, we don't want that. That's what we're trying to break. But I think that people and employers are getting more and more on board with it, because I have employers now that are calling the House of Ruth. And I have a girl working right now at a place up in Dunreath. She's the administrative assistant. They just named her that today. I mean,
Awesome.
She does wonderful. But, and they called and said, we're willing to give them a chance. She has excelled in everything that she's done. And that's the things. I have girls working at Reed. I've had girls at the detox center here in town. I mean, people are, I really and truly believe that society is changing. We're just trying to get employers to see the benefit,
I think it is getting better. Well, we know. I mean, like when we think about statistics, in 2017, 72,000 people died from opioid disorder, from overdose. Just that alone. So as we have to do something to help people, but it's the whole approach. So it is the tools of recovery. It is changing the mindset. It is the mental health aspect of it. And it is helping them set their feet on that firm foundation so that they can start over.
Absolutely.
And have those connections, get their children back, or whatever it is. But first, you said it earlier, what's the root cause?
Right.
So we have to get down to the root cause of it. And you provide that safe place for someone to work on themselves if they're willing.
If they're willing.
And that willingness has to be there.
Willing heart goes a long ways.
It's got to be there.
Yes, for sure. So are you involved? What else are you involved in? Are you doing, you spoke last night at Brianna's Hope. I heard the girls loved it. They thought you were fantastic. Some of them had never heard your story. So they really enjoyed that.
So right now, the detox, so with all that ending, this was just a God-given opportunity to work on the stigma campaign. And so that's my main focus right now. I set some new goals for myself this year. I wanted to be a mom. I was so here, there, and just involved in so much. So this year my main priority was to grow spiritually and to be a mom.
Awesome.
And this summer's been amazing. I've got to spend a lot of time with both my boys. And we got a personal vacation coming, but
good.
With this, we'll be out in the community a lot more. Again, that August 23rd date is huge. The morning of.
How do they get a hold of you? What is a good way?
Let's see, on Facebook through Calvary Baptist, tickets are available for the big concert, so you can go to Calvary Baptist Facebook page to order tickets. We have the In Stigma Facebook page as well. And the morning of, Tony Kane will be speaking at the Expo Hall. We're having a workshop offering CEUs for that. We've partnered with Bella Vista to help offer CEUs for the professionals. That'll be from 9 to 11. It's free.
Right.
And then that night, the doors open at 6 at Calvary for the concert. So either through the In Stigma page or Calvary's page.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, there's a lot going on, so you don't want to miss any of this. And like Charmian said, contact, the Facebook page of Calvary Baptist, the In Stigma. Is that a Facebook page also, or is that a website? Okay, Facebook on that. Find out all the information. You won't want to miss this. This is going to be a great. And share it on your Facebook page. And then that way, the more people that find out about it, the better off it is. And we just invite every one of you to come, encourage one another. If you have any questions, do you have a Facebook page that someone could contact you? Is that, I mean, for just about even help, not just really.
It's my personal page. It's Charmian Gabbard, and I'll always answer a message.
Yes, private message her, and there's you can contact the House of Ruth page also on Facebook. But there's a lot of resources out there, and we're so willing and want to help each and every one of you. So with saying all that, enjoy your day. And I want to thank you so much for coming today. I've enjoyed this so much. There's always something going on. Always something going on. Find a meeting. Find a support group, because everyone is wanting to help. And we just thank you, and God bless in each and every one of you.